Oh boy, C9 and playoffs. It is a true like bond, bro. Like I have never seen a greater bond than C9 in playoffs. Like that is the most strongest bond I've probably ever seen in League of Legends because this team always fails to deliver come playoff time. And we're here to talk about it. Now we do have to talk about both the series that happened today. Real quick, obviously, like before we get into the series, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, comment down below your thoughts on the series. I don't think anyone was expecting a 3-0. I did predict Lion to win 3-1, but 3-0 was kind of like, bro, like there's no way I would have expected a 3-0. I was actually gonna make a video. I actually had it recorded last night after the FlyQuest series, and I was like, I think Lion and TL are the two best teams, and I think if you're an NA fan, you should want those two teams to go to MSI. But I didn't want to put that video out yet because I just wanted to see how the C9 Lion series would pan out, because it would make me look really stupid if I put that video out and then Lion got absolutely stomped by C9. So I don't want to disrespect C9. I wanted to give C9 like a true like chance because I wasn't that high on C9. I thought C9 was a solid team, but I didn't think that they were like that amazing of a one seed by any means. So I already like predicted Lion to win, and I thought that TL would beat them. That was like kind of like my bracket prediction going into MSI. But again, I didn't want to disrespect C9 like that because they were undefeated the whole split, and I did want to see what they could do, but unfortunately they did absolutely nothing today. Like today was terrible. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Before we get into that series though, quick shout out. We're not gonna see FlyQuest again for the rest of the split because they ended up losing to TL, which I thought was like a series that I thought they were very capable of winning. It's not copium. I am a FlyQuest fan, but I did think FlyQuest could have won that series. I just think like normally their strengths are that they're just a very good team fighting team, but yesterday was some of the worst team fighting I've seen from FlyQuest. I just think their setups were really bad. Like they were always late to the objectives, and they usually play comps with like zero frontline because Gakkos likes to play carries, and Griffin same thing. So and then Crowdgen is playing a lot of enchanters and stuff like that, like Nico and all this. So like they don't really have a lot of frontline in a lot of their team comps. So it's very imperative when you don't have frontline to get to the objective river areas first, because then you don't have to worry about face checking bushes and stuff like that, because you can't do that with the team with all squishy people. So they just didn't really I don't really think they were on the same page with that yesterday, which is a shame because I think that's what they were really the best at throughout the split. So really sad, but I know I wanted to see this team at MSI. I think this team will be really good going into Split 3. They're going to go to Korea in boot camp. This is their youngest roster in Tier 1, so they will have time. Like, they will scale, they will be back, and like Thinkart said last night, if you didn't beat this team this split, you're probably never going to beat them. So shout out to Fly. Really sad, but I think we have a few good teams left that could really, give us a good showing for NA at MSI, and TL is one of them. I think TL played a good series. I do want to say a couple things before I jump into the C9 Lion series real quick about TL. I think they found a few things that can really work for them in the future. I think Morgan on weak side was excellent last night. I think him on Ornn, Sion, Cassante, like the three premier tanks in the game right now. He was really good on all those champs. He won on all those champs, even the Cassante game where he was kind of getting punished a lot, or not punished, like ganked a lot by Griffin. He survived a lot of those ganks and eventually got put behind because they had to send 3-4 people at him. But he was weak siding really well, and as a facilitator and as a guy who can like really set up his team, I really think Morgan is really good at that. I think that is kind of his best role because it kind of forces him to be connected with his team. When he's playing carries, I think sometimes like he might be a little bit off in the position that needs to be in. But I think TL really found something with having Morgan on weak side tanks. I think that is probably the recipe to success for them. And then on the flip side, having Quid on these carries, on the Akali, on the Orianna, like this stuff like that for Quid, I think really has set Quid up for success. And he also said it himself, last week when they beat, I believe, when they beat Shopify, he was talking about how when he realized that he was a carry and he was the driving force behind a lot of their team fighting, he really started to play better. And I think that's when Quid shines the best, when he is the carry. So really good recognition and adaptation from TL to recognize that. And then last but not least, Core JJ on engage supports and playmakers, I think is the way to go. I don't really like Core on enchanters. I know they won the Milio game, but I think he's a much better when he's playing stuff like Rakan, Rel, even the Bard, which is not like a pure engage support, but it is a playmaking support. I think that is really when you get the best out of Core, because he's also able to be the driving, setup guy of the team. And I think he's really good at doing that. So a few things I really wanted to highlight for TL that I think can be a big boost to them going forward. I think TL is going to be a scary team for C9 to face. I think TL my prediction is that TL will win that series. I have TL winning that series. And I'm not really like second guessing that prediction at all. I don't think it's going to be, it will be close. I'm not saying it's not going to be close. I think C9 will take a game or two off probably, but I think TL will end up winning. I just think TL has stronger laners. Top lane is pretty much even, but I think apart from that, I think their carries are stronger. I think their team fighting is better. I think C9 looked absolutely disgusting today with some of their team fighting, and we can just segue right into that series because I'm just not sure what happens to C9 in playoffs, bro. It's been like a theme for years and years now where you're just seeing C9 and you're like, bro, it comes to playoff time, they could have won, they could be undefeated in the regular season, which they were, the split. And it comes to playoff time, one series where this is like, the winner goes to MSI. This is the series to win, and the highest stakes series of the year for them. And they end up failing miserably, 3-0. Like, nobody looked good. Not even Thanatos. Thanatos was like, okay. I think Thanatos was probably like the best of all of them because he had like individual goal leads in a lot of these games. But bro, like terrible. Like I have not seen C9 play this bad in probably their last, probably until like their last playoff game, which was, or not the last playoff game, their last loss in playoffs, which was against Lion in the first stand qualification. So I just don't know what happens to C9, bro, because this has been a theme like with multiple different iterations of the roster, multiple different coaches, multiple different players. Like, I know the one common denominator has been Blabber, so maybe he's probably going to get a lot of the blame. And I don't think he had a good series today either. I think Blabber was terrible. I don't know what happens to him every time he goes up against Inspired, but you saw the stats. They were showing it like 10, 15 times on the broadcast how Inspired is 7-1 against him, or now 8-1 because of the series win, all time in series. Like, he gaps him. Like, I just don't know what happens. I think Blabber just gets too antsy a lot of the times. I think he just makes a lot of stupid decisions. I think he had terrible games on the Jarvan and on the Xin Zhao. The Nocturne game, I don't think he was terrible, but that level 1 or 2 invade where Inspired invaded his blue and wanted his Gromp, and Blabber for some reason went into 3 people alone when Sven and Vulcan were clearly trying to back off. Like, I just don't know, like what goes through this guy's brain when he's trying to do these things. Like, I'm not sure. He's still one of the NA GOATs. I'm not saying he's not, but it's a shame because this guy has so much talent, but in the playoffs, something just happens to him and something happens to this team. He is the face of C9, Blabber, and he will get the most heat because this guy has been there throughout all the playoff struggles. He has been the common denominator. Like, they have changed their top laners, their mid laners, their ADCs, their supports, but the jungler has been the same throughout. And you have to look at him, and you have to look at the rest of the team. Vulcan today, I thought he had a good game on the Nautilus, but the other two I thought he was invisible on. I thought Sven, I was never high on Sven. I thought Sven was like a middle of the pack ADC. I never thought he was a good enough ADC to be on a top team. Today kind of proved that right. He's fine. I don't think Sven is a bad ADC. I just think that the problem with Sven is that he just doesn't have the mechanics or like the level to compete with a guy like Berserker or even Masu from last week, who's absolutely like owning him. Like, he had 0 impact today. APA, like the Annie game, like what is he doing? Flashing into the dragon pit after the dragon is taken, like just killing himself. Blabber on the Jarvan, like EQing into like 4 people after his whole team is backing off, or like using his ult to go back in after he had to blow his flash to go back out. Like, what are these decisions? I don't think C9 has like terrible macro. I just think their decision making is just like really, really odd when it comes to their team fights sometimes. Like, Blabber will just snap engage on someone. It'll be like a 1v4. He'll try to go in, or a lot of the times they'll try to like burst Inspired or burst someone, and they'll use every single spell on them. And like, like, yeah, like you're trying to use everything to kill a Jace, and your whole team is getting melted by MF and Rel. Like, what are you guys doing? You know, I didn't even like some of their drafting. Like, I know Thanatos is 9-0 on Sion, and Sion was like a good pick there, I think. But like, Malphite for Thanatos, like, bro, he is your best player, and you're giving him Malphite in your do or die game, where if you lose the game, you lose the series. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what happens to C9. I think they're gonna get beaten by TL. This is something that, you know, is really sad, because this roster has not been to the international stage since like 2023. So it's been like 3 years almost since, or not almost, it's been 3 years since they've been to an international. And that's just super sad, bro, because like I feel like this team definitely had the potential to do that a few times, you know, over the past couple of years. And this was their moment. I mean, they had a chance. They had beaten Lion in the split. They had beaten every team. Like, they were undefeated. Like, and you could tell that a lot of people didn't have confidence in them, because a lot of people predicted Lion, including myself, but no one saw a 3-0 coming. Like, that was disgusting. I can't lie. That was so bad. So yeah, I think if you're a C9 fan, you're probably like, oh my god, here we go again, this sucks. But like, I don't know what you guys have to do, honestly. Like, I don't know if you know, obviously it's only one series. I'm not saying that like it's the end of the world, but like, this is something that, you know, I'm just so disappointed and like perplexed about, because this happens every single time. If this is like a one-time thing, or like, you know, their expectations are high, because this team is undefeated. They made a roster change. They made coaching changes at the start of the year. Like, you know, the coach that they ended up letting go is going to MSI with a different team. Like, listen, I don't know what's going on with this team, bro. I have no idea. The only people who know what's going on is C9, and they probably don't even have like the best idea. So again, we'll see what happens against TL. I think they can win the series. I'm not saying that TL is gonna stomp them. I think C9 is very capable of beating TL, and I think TL is worse than Lion. I think TL is a worse version of Lion. Let me say that. But I just think that TL's individual players are just better. I think Quid is much better than APA. Like, I don't think Quid and APA are in the same league. I think Yon and Sven, I don't think they're in the same league. I think Quid and Yon will astro gap Sven and APA. APA has had a good split, but bro, Quid, the way Quid has been playing over the past 2 weeks, it's scary hours, bro. It's scary hours, because Quid is a demon, and Quid will tear you apart. And so will Yon. Yon is very good at doing that as well. I'll obviously do a preview of the series as we get closer, but it's not looking good for C9, bro, because TL is not going to be an easy opponent. And Spawn in an elimination series, he's not the coach you want to face, because he will have some stuff cooked up. I mean, I thought his plan against FlyQuest was great. They picked a lot of scaling champs. Game 1, I thought FlyQuest walked into Zyra Khan when picking Nocturne and Nico. Like, Zyra Khan is probably TL's best bot lane pairing. Like, no one else plays it but them. Like, Zyra Khan is literally like a TL classic, and you know, they will pick that against you if you pick any form of dive, whether it's a Vi, whether it's a Nocturne, a Nefiri. Like, they will slam that against you and beat you on that. And Morgan has finally found his place on this team. Jose Deodo is, you know, could possibly be the MVP. His first team all jungle. He looks really, really good. So this team looks good, bro. TL looks really good, and C9 just, you know, they're C9 in playoffs. They just look like absolute, like, a mess. So we'll see what happens again. You guys let me know your thoughts on these two series down below. Again, commiserations to Fly. Really would have liked them to see them at MSI, but I think they'll be back. TL, I think, are scaling and look really good right now. I think they are a scary opponent to face. C9, they are complete opposite. Like, they look like they're on the downward trajectory, and they just look like, you know, typical C9 in playoffs. And then Lion, have to give him a lot of credit. I haven't really talked much about Lion, but I think Lion looks really good. Lion looks really solid, man. I think Lion is the best team in NA. I don't think it's like a debate for me. I think TL is close. I think C9, you know, could have made it close. FlyQuest was still a little bit away, I think, because they're just so young and inexperienced. when it comes to playoffs, Inspired, I would rather have him than any other player in the league right now. Even Jose, even anyone. So Inspired is, I think, still the best player in the league. Even though he might have had a down split, I just think that, you know, when it comes to an elimination game or a do or die game or a playoff game, like, he is the guy I want on my team. And they have some ridiculous carries. Saint and Berserker, these two are absolutely, like, these guys are like so good, bro. You know, Saint was so good last year too. Their team was just not great last year. Berserker is like 1v9ing a lot of these games. You know, both were first team all pro. And I think, like, even their weak links, quote unquote, like, Isles has been solid. I think Isles has been really solid this whole split. I don't think Isles has had like many bad games. I think Dokla has been really solid. I know Dokla has had criticisms, but bro, I don't know what they did to this guy when they signed Castle. They must have motivated like the heck out of this guy because he looks so good, Dokla. And he knows his job in these fights. He knows his job in these games. He's able to play weak side really well. He had a great Rumble game where they tried to dive him multiple times and he just evaded all these dives. He had a really good Renekton game where he was one-shotting the backline. Dokla deserves a ton of credit. I'm so excited for Big Dokes. This team looks good. I think they're going to do good at MSI. I think it'll be really fun. I want to see them versus G2 or KC. I really want to see them versus G2 or KC. I think we need an NA team to beat an EU team, bro. We need to shut these EU people up, bro, because I think EU's having a little too much fun right now. I think it's time that we ruin their party a little bit. So shout out to Lion. I think they'll do us proud at MSI. I don't know if they're gonna like make a big run or anything like that, but I think they'll be a solid team. I think they're a good representative from NA. I still think that last year Fly was like the best team you know, that we could have possibly had. I think Fly at MSI last year was really good, and they should have beat BLG. But Lion is still a really good team, and I think they have really solid individual players. They have good coaches. They have Inspired, who I think is an absolute demon, and they'll be a force to reckon with. So very excited to see how next weekend plays out. It's going to be in Arizona, so book your tickets if you're going or if you're planning to go, and it'll be really fun. So we're going to wrap it up here. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about all these series, and we'll see you later as always. Peace.